The film begins with Claire, a blind single mother living in a small house with her 6-year-old daughter Briar. Inside the house, Claire manages well because she knows every corner by memory. She knows where everything is, where to walk, and how to handle her routine, but outside, life is much harder whenever Claire goes out. She depends on her service dog, Stevie, and the places she remembers because of this. She is always careful, especially with Briar. Claire wants to protect her daughter, but in her condition, that is difficult. One morning, while Claire is bathing, Briar says she wants to learn swimming. She also says they never go anywhere. This hurts Claire, because Briar is growing up and wants to see the outside world, but Claire's fear always stops her for a moment. That fear takes over, but she controls herself. Claire also has a boyfriend, Beck. Beck truly loves Claire and treats Briar like his own daughter. Since it is Christmas, Beck visits them and brings gifts for Briar. Before entering, he sees an old neighbor and wishes him Merry Christmas, but the man does not respond. Inside, Briar happily opens Beck's gifts. Then Beck surprises Claire by putting a ring on her finger and proposing. Claire should feel happy, but instead she becomes upset. The reason is tied to Claire's painful past. Something terrible happened years ago, and that trauma still controls her. It broke her emotionally. So Claire built a wall around herself. She does not share her pain, and she does not let anyone fully enter her life. Claire knows Beck is a good man. She knows he loves Briar and wants to support them, but her fear and trust issues stop her from accepting him completely. Claire does not directly reject him, but her words show she is not ready for a big change. She says she feels comfortable in this house because everything is under her control. Inside these walls, she feels safe. Outside, everything feels uncertain. Beck tries to understand. He tells her that even after marriage, she will not have to move. He can move into her house. So Claire and Briar's routine stays the same, but Claire still cannot say yes. Her fear is not only about marriage, something deeper is buried inside her and she cannot talk about it. Beck realizes there is a painful reason. Behind her reaction, he knows Claire loves him, but her emotional walls are too strong, so he does not pressure her and quietly leaves before dinner after Beck leaves. Claire feels disturbed. Deep down, she knows that if she keeps living in fear, Briar's life will also become limited. Briar is growing older, and like any child, she wants to go out, play, and experience the world. So when neighbor Kim's daughter Joyce comes to spend time with Briar, Claire takes a small but important step. She allows Briar to go to Joyce's house, only telling her to return before dinner. For Claire, this is a big decision, because she usually keeps Briar close to her protection. Later that evening, Claire prepares dinner, cleans the kitchen, and goes to shower around this time. Briar returns home, but she enters so quietly that Claire does not notice. Briar starts playing with her new toys. Then, as viewers, we sense that a car may have stopped outside the house, while Claire is still in the shower. She hears a strange sound. She cannot recognize it, but it stays in her mind and makes her uneasy. When Claire comes out and calls Briar, there is no answer. At first, she thinks Briar may be in her room, but the room is empty. Claire panics and quickly calls Kim to ask why Briar has not returned. But Kim's answer shocks her. Kim says Joyce dropped Briar home almost an hour ago. This means Briar reached the house, but now she is missing in that moment. Claire's worst fear starts coming true. Her daughter has disappeared on Christmas Day. Briar is not inside and Claire cannot hear her nearby. Kim immediately informs the police, while Claire calls Beck and tells him everything. Soon the neighbors, police, and Beck begin searching for Briar. Christmas night, which should have been happy, becomes Claire's nightmare. Officer Reese Miller questions Claire and asks if Briar's father should be informed. Hearing this, Claire's reaction changes with anger and pain. She says Briar does not have a father. She only has her mother. Claire breaks down, but Reese comforts her. She tells Claire to stay strong and promises they will do everything possible to find her daughter. After this, everyone starts searching for Briar, while some officers question nearby people, especially anyone suspicious. Claire uses her service dog, Stevie because he is trained to follow Briar's scent. At first, Stevie catches her smell and pulls Claire ahead, like he has found a trail, but after some distance, he stops near the river. He becomes uneasy and barks, making Claire even more afraid. Meanwhile, police find an important clue. Joyce says that when Briar was going home, she saw her with an old man. He had a long beard and looked like a grandfather. So Joyce assumed he was family, but Claire's parents are gone, and Briar has no grandfather in town. This confuses everyone. Who was that man, and why was Briar with him? Hearing the description, Claire remembers, or a foreigner, a strange man often seen near her house. Briar had once mentioned a bearded man walking around their home. Now Claire believes or a foreigner may be involved. Claire tells Officer Walker Donnelly about Abel. Walker listens, but police do not want to decide without proof. They say there are other suspicious people too, especially those with troubled past. This frustrates Claire because she feels they are wasting time. Every minute matters the longer Briar is missing. The greater the danger, Claire feels lost, physically and emotionally, but she knows one thing. She must find her daughter instead of waiting. Claire goes to, or a former house herself. She believes Briar might be inside. So she keeps knocking, but, or a foreigner, refuses to let her in and shuts the door. Without solid proof, police cannot properly search his house, leaving Claire more helpless. The officers tell Claire to stay calm and explain she cannot accuse someone without evidence. But Claire does not fully trust them that night. Claire is restless. She sees Briar in a disturbing vision and goes outside in the dark. Calling her name, Beck, calms her down. 12 hours pass and there is still no sign of Briar. Police continue working, but Claire is losing hope. Officer Donnelly asks more questions. Slowly, police begin suspecting that Harris, too. Beck is Claire's boyfriend, and he argued with her on Christmas morning. So officers keep checking his timeline. They want to know when he came, when he left, and where he was when Briar disappeared. Claire says Beck was with his uncle Elijah Harris. Then another strange thing happens. Claire's dog, Stevie, also goes missing. Inside the house, Beck finds a hardware store tag. Instead of telling police, he only tells Claire, and they both go to that store. At the hardware store, they find Abel working there. He is already on Claire's suspect list, and because of his past, police know him too, but when Claire confronts him, Abel says he already told police everything. It has nothing to do with the case. However, one thing feels strange. Abel says he knows nothing about Claire's daughter or her dog, but Claire herself only found out a short while ago that Stevie was missing. Claire tells Beck what Abel said, but Beck does not fully believe her. He feels Claire's fear is making her suspect everyone. Claire even asks where he was all day, which feels strange to him. Just then, Officer Reese passes by, so they go quiet. Claire says nothing to Reese and walks home alone. Beck worries and follows her to make sure she reaches safely. After that, Beck puts up missing posters around town. This shows he is still trying to help, making it harder to believe he could do something so cruel while putting up posters. Beck sees Abel and follows him, hoping for a clue, but he finds nothing. On his way back, a police car follows him. Beck gets scared, but the film does not show what happens next. Meanwhile, Claire uses a map and goes near Abel's house again. There she discovers something shocking. An elementary school is right across from Abel's house, and Briar studies there. Claire then goes to a nearby graveyard. She hears water follows the sound and suddenly panics. A worker nearby runs to help. Police are informed, and Officer Walker and Hooper arrive. Claire says she suspects Abel because he mentioned her dog. Even though he should not know Stevie was missing, she also points out that Abel lives right in front of Briar's school. Walker sends Claire home with Hooper so he can speak to Abel. But on the way, Claire hears Hopper's breathing. It reminds her of the terrifying incident from her past when someone harmed her for a moment. She feels Hopper may be that man. Terrified, She gets out of his car. Whether Hooper is truly involved will be revealed later. Claire returns home and tries to calm herself. Then she takes Briar's hairbrush and goes to Walker's house. Walker thinks she came to complain again because police still have not found Briar. But Claire tells him something serious, she says. She now knows who sexually assaulted her in the past. Everyone in town knew about that old case. Walker had investigated it. But the attacker was never found, so the case was closed. Now we understand why Claire reacts strongly whenever someone mentions Briar's father. Claire does not know who he is, because Briar was born after that traumatic incident. Claire now claims Hooper was the man who harmed her. Walker is shocked. To confirm it, Claire gives him Briar's hairbrush and asks for a DNA test. Walker promises to help. After this, Claire returns home. She is emotionally and physically exhausted, so she lies on the sofa and falls asleep. Meanwhile, police and townspeople prepare another search party. Walker goes to Hooper's house, but Officer Reese opens the door, revealing she is Hooper's mother. Hooper is not home. Reese says he has gone to lead the search party. Then Walker and Reese also leave for the search. Back at Claire's house, she wakes after hearing noise. At first, she thinks Beck returned, but it is his uncle who came to check on her. He asks about Beck and says Beck has not been home for days. Claire is shocked because Beck is not with her either. Now she wonders if Beck is involved in Briar's disappearance or if something happened to him to Beck's uncle. Says he does not believe Beck could do this. Then he reveals one more strange detail. On Christmas Day, when he dropped back near Claire's house, he saw a police car outside Beck's uncle. Says the police car stood there for a long time, almost like someone was watching Claire's house. This shocks Claire. Meanwhile, Walker is with the search party. When he gets a chance, he quietly takes Hooper's water glass as a sample, showing he truly wants to help Claire. But Claire is done waiting at home. She meets Abel again because she believes he knows something. She threatens him, saying if he hides the truth, his probation could get worse, and he could lose everything. This scares Abel, and he admits someone only told him to move Claire's dog out of the way. Stevie had followed Briar's scent very close to the river. Claire understands Briar must be somewhere near the river. Without wasting time, Claire heads toward the river. Aura sees her leaving. At the same time, police find Beck's empty car near the river. This makes them suspect Beck even more, and they begin searching the water. Claire keeps moving. Then she hears the same whistling sound she heard in the shower when Briar disappeared. Now she is sure Briar is nearby soon. Claire reaches a house near the river and hears Briar's voice. She feels relieved because Briar is alive, but she also hears another voice inside, meaning Briar is not alone. So Claire waits for that person to leave. When Claire enters, she hears many birds. She realizes this is the same sound from her shower. The kidnapper may have used birds to lure Briar away. Suddenly, Claire hears someone behind her, then realizes it is Briar. Claire finally finds her daughter and hugs her tightly. Both are overwhelmed with happiness. Claire quickly tries to take Briar back, but Briar says they cannot leave him. Claire does not understand, so Briar takes her to a barn. There, Claire finds Beck tied up, badly hurt and unconscious. This makes it clear someone wanted to frame him. Beck had nothing to do with Briar's disappearance. Claire brings Beck outside, but he is still unconscious. She knows she cannot save both Beck and Briar at once, so she makes a painful decision. She tells Briar to return to the house, so the kidnappers do not know Claire found her. Claire promises she will save Beck first, then come back with help. Briar listens and runs inside. Claire drags Beck farther away, puts her jacket on him, and hides him under leaves. Meanwhile, Walker gets the DNA report and starts asking about Hooper. Back near the house, the kidnapper returns and notices Claire's footprints. The person comes outside and points a gun at Claire. The truth is revealed. The kidnapper is Reese. Hooper's mother Reese asks Claire why she cannot stop looking for her daughter here. It becomes clear that Hooper was the man responsible for Claire's past assault. Reese knew the truth, but she stayed silent to protect her son. She even pressured Claire to close the case, saying it would only bring more trouble. Now Reese wants Briar because Briar is her granddaughter. She took Briar. To keep her and tried to put the blame on Beck, Reese believes Beck has no right to be Briar's father because Briar is actually Hooper's child. While Reese and Claire are talking, Hooper returns and calls for his mother. Briar gets a chance to run away. Cooper goes after her and Reese follows him. They catch Briar again. Cooper starts panicking, so Reese tells him to calm down and control himself. Just then, Walker arrives. Reese tells Hooper to take Briar inside. While she talks to Walker asks about Hooper, but Reese lies and says he is with the search party, and she does not know when he will return. After she goes inside, Walker contacts the station to check Hooper's location. Meanwhile, Reese takes the gun and goes after Claire hides behind a tree when Reese comes close. Claire hits her hand with a branch. The gun falls into the water and fires, hearing the shot. Walker and another officer rush inside Reese, attacks Claire, and tries to overpower her. Claire fights back, injures Reese, and escapes. When Walker enters the house, he finally understands what has really been happening. On the other side, Hooper runs away with Briar. Suddenly, Aura steps out from the bushes with a gun, forcing Hooper to stop. Walker keeps searching nearby for Claire and Briar. Then, he finds Beck. Still unconscious and badly hurt, worried, Walker quickly calls for medical help at the same time. He sees Claire coming back with Briar, while Aura keeps Hooper at gunpoint. This shows Aura was a good person, who only wanted to help Claire. At last, Claire has her daughter back, seeing them safe. Walker also feels relieved. The scene then shifts forward. Everything is finally peaceful. Claire now lives a happy life with Briar and Beck, and for the first time in a long while, her heart is at peace.